Hello, it's Kathy and I'm back with another process video, and this one is for Cheeky Studio. And anybody who doesn't know what Cheeky Studio is, it is a cute little independent shop, online shop started by the wonderful Tuesday Hubbard, and she has been designing, creating ephemera, little like labels, different, she had bows, there's sequins, she now has like acrylics and wood veneers and all these really cute stuff in her little shop, which will be linked in the description below. And at the end of the video there will be a code for, I think it's 10% off if you shop her stuff and use this code for the guest designer spot that I am doing for July. And I really love getting to work with independent entrepreneurs because I am one myself, and I think it's really great as a community that we support each other, because kind of when one of us succeeds, in a way we kind of all succeed because it makes us more dedicated and strive to have that same success. I know that's kind of how I feel, is like when I see her designing her own stuff and succeeding, and I'm just like, yes, like I totally want to be doing what you're doing. You're doing an amazing job, and you know, we're supporting her, she's supporting us. It's a whole great community thing. So let's move on to the actual layout. So I used a Just Nick cut file, and I believe it's called Floral Wreath 2 or something like that. It's really cute. It's got these really funky flowers, and there's some on one side and a few on the other. It doesn't go the whole way around, and I really liked that because I wanted to fill the wreath with a pattern paper, and if it was too much like squiggly lines, it would be confusing to figure out where to glue it down. This way it wasn't. And I knew I wanted to use some pinks because it was a picture of my daughter and stuff like that. So I am using a Maggie Holmes, I don't think it's Bloom. Oh, it might be Bloom. I think it's Chasing Dreams, actually. Paper, something like that. And it just had like these little swatches of pink, and some of them say things. The picture frame that I picked out, and you kind of saw me like decide which one I wanted to use because I liked two different ones, is from Pink Fresh Studio. It's from a newer collection, and you can pick it up like right now. It's available. The background paper is one that I had in my stash from Hip Kit Club, and it's an older paper from an older kit, so it's more like 2016, I would say. And I'm using it because it's a pattern paper, which of course I love using pattern paper, but it's very light, and also it's yellow, and it looks kind of like these little doodly, to me, kind of like doodly dandelions, and that's what she's picking in the photo. So I just thought this really worked well, and it would play off with all the florals that I'm using. And when I was asked what I wanted to work with for my guest design spot, she has 4 different packs of these wildflowers. So I got all 4 because I just wanted to work with they're very doodly, very fun, very kind of child playful, as opposed to very realistic or watercolor, which is kind of a big trend right now too. But I just loved the bright, fun spring summer vibe that I was getting from these flowers, though some of the colors were very autumnal, so could be really used for fall layouts as well. So I got all 4 packs. She sent me a few other tidbits to work with too, that I have another layout coming up that will have some of those as well, with more of these flowers. So my whole idea was I didn't want to cover up the floral wreath completely, so I put some flowers underneath, I put some flowers on top, I popped some up with pop dots, I kind of shoved a few underneath so it looked like it was coming out of the floral wreath, so you can still get the idea of the white leaves and flowers from the floral wreath as well as the wildflowers from the ephemera packs. And they all had accents of black, which I really liked, and I thought that these photos worked perfectly because she was wearing a black shirt and she was holding yellow flowers. So I just kind of felt like this worked out so well, and I loved little touches and contrasts of black when you've got something super feminine and super girly going on. So that's kind of my thought process with this, was just that fun pop. And at the end, I am going to put some big ink splatters using my watered down Toll paint, acrylic paint that I buy from Michael's. And I bought these really big brushes too. And it was a set, and they're in the kids section, and they're Crayola, and they're big round ones. So if you're looking for a good ink dropping brush, I really liked these. It was like $7.99 for 4 or 5. So it was really cheap for me, I think, as opposed to buying individual brushes, unless you want a really nice quality bristle, because obviously the bristles are going to be like acrylic bristles as opposed to boar fur or that type of thing. So anyway, I do that. I thought I recorded it, but I didn't. So I was just letting you know now that you don't get to see me dropping the ink, but you of course get to see the final finished layout at the end of the video. So get to see where the ink splatters happen. And I'm having one of those moments where I think we all know what I'm talking about, when you just want to use everything. Like, I wanted to include at least one of every flower, except I can't because there's so many different kinds, and it's going to get really crazy here soon if I don't stop. So I do eventually slow down using them and kind of stop adding more and more and more, and let the rest of it kind of speak for itself. But by creating this layout, you know, I didn't really have to do much else. I think I put like 2 other pieces of ephemera, or, well, one was a puffy sticker and one was a chipboard sticker from Pink Fresh. And that was it. That was the only thing I added to it. And then she sent me some bows. So I'm going to use some bows because I saw them right at the end and they just worked out perfectly. And I used quite a few and just kind of tucked them in here and there. So I wanted to make a tiny little bouquet between the pictures as well, especially with that yellow flower, because I found it right at the end, and I'm trying to put in as many different colors as I possibly can. Like, I really wanted to use at least one of every color, and I did succeed with that on both sides. So I almost wasn't going to include the purples, and then I was just like, no, I have to include the purples because they're so pretty. And the teal, that was the other one that I was like not sure about using on the other side. And now I'm trying to balance how far over some of the flowers are going on either side, as you can see. And I get it to a point where I'm really happy with it. And I'm loving the dimension. These are printed on really great cardstock, really nice thick quality, great colors. So you don't have to worry if you're going to pop them up like I'm doing. So they worked out really well. So I really love all the shapes and everything that's going on, the leaf shapes, everything like that. I found this cute little phrase and I thought it looked adorable just tucked in there. So I do have to move some of the flowers because, of course, this was an after decision. And I wanted to make sure that even though it was tucked in amongst the flowers, you could still read everything that was going on it. So I just reattached the flowers and kind of moved them into places where they fit a little bit better. And I'm going to use a bow up at the top of that cute little chipboard phrase just to have a little extra something. And I found that it was stuck to the back of one of my packages of chipboard from Paige Evans, and it was just stuck there, and it was a Maggie Holmes camera from Chasing Dreams, and I was like, well, it's just stuck there, so let's move it so I don't lose it, which is a great kind of phrase, move it so you don't lose it. So she sent me these cute little blue polka dot and yellow bows, and I had to use some of the blue ones, but I also had to use a whole bunch of the yellows because of the yellow flowers. I just loved the idea of this, and I really loved these pictures, and I just wanted to do something really kind of fun and youthful, but very kind of beautiful at the same time. And I know wreaths are really popular right now, and I am never that great at doing them. It's just not something I'm as good at as some of the other scrapbookers out there that I admire, and they do these amazing like big floral wreaths and stuff like that, and I'm just like ha ha ha. I don't have that, but I finally have flowers. I don't have a lot of floral ephemera, to tell you the truth, so getting these from Cheeky Studio was great, and she has other types too. So if you're a big fan of florals and you want to do something like this, you don't just have to pick these ones. I was almost done this voiceover and someone just had to like get in and be on my Facebook. I don't even have Facebook open. I hate those little things. I'm gonna keep going. Take one. Do it in one take. We'll do it in one. So I wanted to use black letters, and I wanted it to go around the floral wreath. So I have these. They're from Pink Paisley. I think it was called Girl Squad. And I'm trying to figure out what to write, because this is going to be one of those generic titles because it's not letters, it's a word, and B, how to fit it in properly and make you actually see the word sweet. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of hard, and I had you, so I just like, oh, hi, sweet you. That's a cute little title. So why not? So that's what I'm going to end up with at the end. So make sure you check out her shop, especially if you're into florals or any of the other ephemera pieces. They are adorable. Links will be in the description below. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I will see you in the next video. Pictures are coming up. Thank you so much for the support. Love you all. I keep trying to think of what to say. And yeah, bye.